Welcome to Cosmic Mythos, where we wander out past the safety rails of physics, ask the questions nobody else dares to whisper, and trace the strange shapes that exist at the edge of reality. Tonight, a thought experiment. Scientists have a ladder for measuring civilizations, a quiet little staircase that climbs from candle flames to galaxies. And we want to know what waits at the very top. So before we begin, take a breath and imagine reaching out and touching a galaxy. Imagine reaching out and touching a galaxy. Imagine the laws of physics bending around your fingers like soft clay. Tonight, we ask the strangest question a species can ask itself. What if humanity became the most powerful civilization the universe has ever seen? What if time itself became something you could hold? The past, the present, and 1,000 possible futures, all glowing in the palm of your hand. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? But would you even still be human after that? What if every universe you ever imagined was real and floating right in front of you like bubbles? You could reach in, pick one, and just flick it. Welcome to the question that scientists, philosophers, and dreamers have been quietly arguing about for almost 60 years. There's a way to measure how advanced a civilization could become. It's called the Kardashev Scale, and originally it had 3 levels, but thinkers have stretched it. Today, we're going all the way to level 7, the very last rung of the ladder. I'm going to walk you through every tier from the one we're almost on to the one that probably shouldn't exist. And by the end, you might start wondering if we even want to climb this ladder at all. Because here is the catch. The higher you go on this staircase, the less it looks like science fiction, and the more it starts looking like religion. The top steps don't even obey the rules of reality. And by the time we reach the top, you might find that being all-powerful comes with a very lonely throne. So before we step inside, ask yourself, would you take this trip if you could? Strap in. We're going through every tier of civilization that humanity might one day belong to. Each one bigger, stranger, and more disturbing than the last. Type 1. A planetary civilization. We harness every drop of energy our home world can offer. Sunlight, wind, geothermal heat, ocean currents. Earth becomes one glowing circuit board, perfectly balanced, completely powered. On the surface, this looks like paradise. Clean. Type 2. Now we go bigger. A Type 2 civilization captures the entire power of its sun. They build swarms of mirrors around it, like a giant solar harvest. They terraform Mars. They float entire cities on Venus. Their astronauts walk on alien soil the way we walk to the corner store. The sun is no longer something they look at. It's something they plug into. A single yellow battery powering 1,000 worlds. Type 3. The galactic civilization. They don't just own a planet. They don't just own a solar system. They own an entire galaxy. Every star, every black hole, every drifting cloud of gas, all of it harnessed. Imagine massive structures wrapped around supergiants, draining them like cosmic fruit. Construction ships the size of moons, drifting between stars. To them, our entire solar system is just a small light bulb in a city of light bulbs. The original 3 tiers were drawn up in 1964 by a Soviet astronomer named Nikolai Kardashev. He was trying to figure out how to spot advanced aliens. But after Type 3, well, that's where Kardashev stopped. Other scientists, they didn't. Type 4, the universal civilization. They control not one galaxy, but the entire observable universe. Every star you've ever seen, every star you'll never see. Trillions of galaxies, all under one cosmic flag. Type 5, the multiverse civilization. They have broken out of our universe entirely. They live across parallel realities, each with its own physics, its own constants. To them, our universe is one room in an infinite hotel. And now things get weird, because the next 2 tiers are not really about technology anymore. They start looking less like science, and more like the kind of thing you'd whisper about in a temple. But before we go there, let me ask you something. We've talked about cosmic powers and galactic empires, but have you noticed something? None of that matters if we don't survive the next few decades right here on Earth. The climate is changing fast. Solar fields stretching to the horizon. Wind turbines on every ridge. Clean energy isn't a luxury anymore. It is literally the price of admission to Type 1. Without it, we never even make it to step 1 of the staircase. Real young engineers learning real green technology. Solar grids being installed by hand. This is what the first rung of the Kardashev Scale actually looks like up close. And the people building it are already here. Even small things matter. planting a tree, riding a bike, painting a mural that reminds your town what it's fighting for. The journey to Type 1 is not a single rocket launch. It's millions of tiny decisions made every day by people like you. Okay, now back to the weird stuff. Type 6, the God tier. A Type 6 civilization doesn't just live in the universe. They create universes. With a single thought, they can speak a new cosmos into existence, a brand new galaxy unfurling from their fingertips like a flower. And what they create, they can also destroy. A snap of the wrist, a closing fist, and a universe of stars dissolves into dust. To them, building and erasing realities is no harder than us doodling on a napkin. Time itself becomes their toy. Past, present, future, all running at once like flowers in a garden. They can pick a moment, hold it, examine it, rewind it. The idea of yesterday and tomorrow is, to them, just decoration. Imagine being able to see every version of your own life. The one where you took that other job. The one where you said yes instead of no. The one where you never said anything at all. For a Type 6 being, every choice you didn't make is hanging right there, glowing on a branch. And it gets weirder. You could literally pick which version of yourself you want to be. A president, a movie star, a bodybuilder. Just walk into the alternate timeline and put on that life like a new coat. Honestly, kind of tempting, isn't it? But here's the unsettling part. To a Type 6 civilization, every other civilization, including us, looks like an ant colony on a coffee table. Cute, busy, and completely unaware that someone is watching. They could destroy our world by accident and not even notice. Maybe they wouldn't destroy us, though. Maybe they'd collect us. Aliens, humans, crystal tree people, deep-sea squid civilizations, all kept in elegant glass habitats. A cosmic museum of species, with one strange observer slowly walking the halls. At this level, even your own body becomes optional. Don't like your face today? Change it. Want to be taller, faster, glowing, fox-eared, 10 feet tall? Done. The mirror becomes a menu. You become whatever you imagine. Many believe Type 6 beings would merge with their own technology. Half flesh, half circuit. Eyes that see across spectrums we don't have names for. Hair made of fiber optics. Thoughts running at the speed of light. The line between you and your devices? Gone. And some theorists go even further. They say Type 6 beings might leave their bodies entirely. They become a pure ball of energy, a humming wisp of plasma, free to drift across galaxies without a ship, without a suit, without a single bone. Now hold on, because we're not done yet. Type 7, the final tier, the Omniverse level civilization. A being so advanced, so vast, that the entire multiverse is just a small painting on their wall. They don't manage galaxies. They manage every conceivable reality, all at once. Picture a planet. Now zoom out to a galaxy. Now to a universe. Now to a multiverse. A honeycomb of universes side by side. And then, around all of that, there is one outer glow. The Omniverse. That is their backyard. In their reality, even fiction is real. Medieval knights walking through neon cyberpunk streets. Dragons flying over 1950s diners. Anime heroes shaking hands with Renaissance painters. Anything anyone has ever imagined, anywhere, exists somewhere, and they can see all of it. A Type 7 being is no longer physical. They dissolve upward in a sacred geometry. Fractals, tesseracts, mandalas of pure thought. Their old body fades like smoke. What is left is something the human language doesn't really have a word for. Death? Optional. A Type 7 being can choose to exist forever, sitting in pure, peaceful awareness, glowing softly above a still lake, body translucent and filled with stars. Just thinking about it for as long as forever lasts. Some imagine these beings live in constant bliss. Perfect joy, no pain, no fear, just an endless warm light. Sounds amazing, right? But sit with that thought for a second. Forever. With no contrast. With nothing ever changing. They can also exist in many places at the same time. One copy reading, another dancing, another painting, another sleeping. 9 versions of themselves living 9 different moments, all overlapping, all completely real, all the same person. They see past, present, and future simultaneously. One eye on history, one eye on right now, one eye on what hasn't happened yet. Imagine knowing how the story ends while you're still on the first page. And honestly, we can't fully picture what they are. The human brain is simply not built to imagine a Type 7 being. We can only point at them and stand there with our mouths open, like ants trying to understand a cathedral. But here is the part of the story nobody warns you about. The figure sitting on a crystalline throne, a tiny universe in their lap, looking very, very small. When you have everything, when you could do anything, what is left? An empty picnic table at golden hour. 2 chairs no one sitting in. A guitar leaning against a tree. A meal left half finished. These are the things we leave behind when we climb too high. Not buildings, not technology, connection. And there is an ethical question too. When you can shape worlds like clay, when whole species depend on your moods, you are no longer a civilization. You are God, and history has not exactly been kind to gods, or to the people who decided they were one. Imagine standing on the last mountain peak, looking out, and realizing every other mountain has already been climbed. Every flag already planted. There is nothing new to discover, nothing to fight for. Hands in your pockets. Sky flat gray. A perfect beach. No wobs, no wind, no birds, just stillness. Forever, with nothing left to challenge you. No problems to solve. The great cosmic question becomes, what do you even do tomorrow? And what is tomorrow when you can already see it? Maybe after all of that, you want to walk back, down the staircase, past Type 7, past Type 6, past everything, back toward the bottom step, where there is a cozy little cottage with warm yellow windows, waiting. Back to Earth, sunrise over familiar continents, soft auroras at the poles, a coffee mug on a small spacecraft window. After every possible universe, the most beautiful place you'd remember might just be the one you started in. So, would humanity ever become a Type 7 civilization? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we'd stop at Type 1 or 2 and call that enough. That is a story for another what if. But the idea, the question, that is yours to keep. If this stretched your brain, even a little, you know what to do. Thanks for thinking with us today. And until the next strange question, keep looking up. The universe is way bigger and way weirder than we know.